Let's talk about thumb rings. Hi folks, Matt Easton here, and I am at Olympia Auctions looking at some of the amazing items in the upcoming sale on the 26th of June. And here we've got a gorgeous sword, and really I'm not going to talk too much about it. I'm going to stick a link below to the actual item in the catalogue, and you can see more about it there. But really to show you one thing I've noticed, and that's a thumb ring. Now, I mentioned thumb rings recently in application to left-hand daggers used with rapiers, and the fact that what some people are calling a thumb ring on a left-hand dagger is actually a side ring. And it's to protect the back of your hand, not the thumb side of your hand, and certainly not to protect your thumb. You don't stick your thumb through it. However, this is a thumb ring. So here we have an absolutely gorgeous sword, and you can see that that little bar there we go, is specifically to hook your thumb over. Now, many of you will be familiar with finger rings, okay, and that is where you put the index finger over the lead quillon, and there is usually a ring to protect it. Now, there are a few things to tell you when you're looking at original swords about whether you're supposed to put the finger over the guard, over the quillon, or not. One of those things is there a finger ring? This sword, there is no finger ring. Ergo, given that we've got a side ring to protect the back of the hand, and we've got a thumb ring with associated bar to protect the thumb, the fact that there's no finger ring would suggest the maker of this sword did not want you to put your finger over that front quillon. You can physically do it, and if you really wanted to do it, you can put your thumb and your finger over at the same time. However, that's not what you're supposed to do because there's no finger ring. And there's another reason. The second reason why you know that they don't want you to put the finger over that front quillon is it's still got an edge there. Now, I'm not saying it's sharp, but you can see there is no ricasso, there is no blunt section. So generally speaking, if a sword has no blunt section for which your index finger can rest against, then it's probably, not always, but it's probably not intended for you to put your finger over there. So this sword, having no finger ring and having an edge going all the way down to the base of the blade, almost certainly you're not supposed to put your finger across there. But look how much effort the smith has gone to make both a thumb ring, which is like a U shape down here, and then this bar which comes up over the side to protect the thumb. So if you didn't have that there, your thumb would be able to grip over the thumb ring, and we'll talk about why in a second, but this bar here protects the thumb from being hit. So it's a great little bit of design. Not only can you stick your thumb over, but you can do it in safety. Now, why would you want to stick your thumb over? Well, we've talked about finger rings and why you might want to finger the guard. And I've talked a lot about fingering the guard on my channel. And fundamentally, it gives you a point of leverage. It gives you an increased leverage, and it brings the tip more in line with the forearm. The thumb is slightly different. It doesn't bring the tip in line with the forearm, but it does give you an increased leverage. And we often find thumb rings or thumb supports on swords which are cut-centric. We find them on Dusaks, we find them on back swords and certain types of cavalry broadsword, and you find them on szablers, Polish sabres. And all of those swords are primarily chopping, hacking, cutting swords. And what it gives is it gives an increased acceleration and leverage to the hand, and less likely to lose your grip on the weapon, which is very important when being on horseback in particular. So if you're using a cavalry sword, you don't want to lose the sword from your grip, from your grasp. So really, really important to keep a good grip on it, but also it gives you that increased leverage. But notice it doesn't bring the point in line with the arm at all, like a finger over, like you'd have with a rapier or even a side sword. Instead, it actually brings the sword up at that angle. So it's angled better for cutting and not so much for thrusting. So it actually tells you an awful lot about how that type of sword was intended to be used. Thanks a lot for watching. Check out that link below to the upcoming sale at Olympia Auctions, and I hope I'll see you back on the channel really soon. Cheers, folks.